Maybe you kept it out for too long. It became this was out of the place for too long.
So it should put it there. I need to put this one
वृषभानुसुते प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय स्वामिति नामिने नमस्ते गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees present here. I seek blessings from the senior Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas here. I was asked to speak on the glories of the holy name by the host just a couple of minutes back. The holy name of Krishna is the most accessible and merciful and powerful form of Krishna available to all of us. Krishna appeared in so many forms: Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Vamana, Narasimha, Rama, Parashurama, so many forms. But this avatar of Krishna, Nama avatar of Krishna, is very special because even one who is lying on the deathbed also can access this form, can experience this form. Of all the potent forms of bhakti, especially the 5 potent forms of bhakti like Srimad Bhagavatam, Holy Dham, the deity worship process, and Vaishnava Seva, and Holy Name. These are the 5 potent forms of bhakti. Of all these 5 potent forms of bhakti, chanting Krishna's names is most easy and accessible form. And Krishna personally descended in this planet in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, specifically to preach the glories of Krishna's name. Krishna said in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Satatam kirtayanto mam, always chant my holy names. Krishna said, yatantascha dridhavrataha, with great determination, endeavor to chant Krishna's names. This is the 14th shloka of the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. 9.14 Satatam Kirtayanto Ma. And this shloka also happens to be shloka number 351 of Bhagavad Gita. The central shloka. Krishna kept the process of kirtanam, chanting the names of the Lord, right in the middle. In the next shloka, next chapter, 10th chapter, Krishna said, Yajnanam japa yajnosmi. Of all types of sacrifices, japa yajna, the process of chanting Krishna's names is the best sacrifice. Hare Krishna. So, Krishna sufficiently emphasized on the importance of chanting holy names of Krishna. And he himself incarnated as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to propagate the glories of Krishna's name. And he personally chanted. What other proof you need? Sri Krishna Vishnu Madhukaita Bhare Bhaktanukampin Bhagavan Murare Trayasvamam Keshavalokanath Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Sri Krishna Vishnu Madhukaita Bhare. O Krishna, O Vishnu, O killer of Madhukaitava demons, Bhaktanukampin Bhagavan Murare. You are extremely merciful upon your devotees. Bhakta Anukampin. O Bhagavan, O Murari. Trayasva, please protect me. Mam, Keshava, Lokanatha, please protect me. And I will chant Govinda, Damodara, Madhava. Jihve rasagne madhura priyatum. जिह्वे रसग्ने मधुर प्रिया त्वम्. Jihva means tongue. This tongue is rasagna. Rasagna means one who can experience tastes. Rasa means taste. Rasagna means knower of tastes. Oh Jihva, oh my dear tongue, you can experience tastes. You can know tastes. You take some, what is that? Sabudana kheer and pour on your hand. Will it experience taste? You take chips and put on the head. Will it experience taste? You take curd and put in your ear. Will the ear experience the taste? You take gulab jamun, put in your nose. Will the nose experience taste? You take that, what is it? Who made? Avocado. What is the name of it? Huh? Guacamole. Avocado guacamole. And put in your eyes. Will eyes experience taste? No. Not a single limb of the body has the ability to experience taste except the tongue. Jihve rasagne. This jihva is rasagna, relisher of taste, experiencer of taste. But of all the tastes, this jihva, generally speaking, constantly hankers for madhura. Madhura priyatvam. Although you can experience all kinds of tastes, you specifically look forward for the sweet taste. What is the sweet in today's menu? Is it sabudana kheer or what else? Cake or whatever. Ekadashi sweets. I don't want to tempt you by speaking the names of so many non-Ekadashi sweets. So, jihve rasagne madhura priyatvam. Satyam hitam tvam paramam vadami. Oh my dear tongue, Satyam, I'll speak the truth. Hitam tvam, with a well-wishing intent, I'll speak the truth. Paramam vadami, this is not normal hitam, it is paramam hitam. It is the supreme welfare for you, vadami, I am speaking this. Satyam hitam tvam paramam vadami. Bilvamangal Thakur is saying that, oh my dear Jihva, oh tongue, You can experience all kinds of tastes, but of all the tastes, Madhura Priyatvam, sweet is very dear to you. Now let me give you a well-wishing advice, knowing your taste for sweets. Avardayatha madhuraksharaणि Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Of all the sweets available in the entire creation, the sweetest sweet, the tastiest sweet, the most relishable sweet is the name of Govinda, name of Damodara, name of Madhava, the sweetest thing. जिह्वे रसज्ञे मधुर प्रियात्वम् सत्यं हितं त्वां परमं वदामि आवर्णयथा मधुराक्षराणि गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति मधुर मधुर वेतं मङ्गलं मङ्गलानां besides मधुर मधुर वेतं मङ्गलं मङ्गलानां सकल निगमवल्ली सत्फलं चित्स्वरूपं सकृदपि परिगीतं श्रद्धया हेलया वा भृगुवरनरमात्रं तारयेत् कृष्णनाम Madhura Madhura Metan, of all the sweetest things available in this entire creation, the greatest sweet is Krishna's name. Mangalam Mangalanam, of all the things that cause auspiciousness, the greatest cause of auspiciousness is holy name, Krishna's name. Sakala Nigamavalli Satphalam Chitswarupam. You compare all the scriptures to a Valli, a beautiful creeper, and the holy name of Krishna is the ripened fruit of that creeper. So, in this way, the scriptures repeatedly glorify the potency of Krishna's name. Now, let me share a fact. Although many of us, probably all of us, know the glories of Krishna's name, while chanting, we get distracted. We consciously become unconscious in chanting Krishna's names. Right? We consciously give way to distractions. It happens with me at least. Maybe some of you or many of you, maybe if you are and you are chanting, but I'm not there yet. So we get distracted. But time to time, when we hear the glories of Krishna's names, time to time, when we hear the stories of devotees who are rescued by the potency of Krishna's name, Narayana's name, that will give us some inspiration to take the holy name more seriously. And one of the foremost obstacles in our sincere chanting of Krishna's names is offenses, aparadhs. Aparadh to Vaishnavas especially. Of the 10 offenses, first aparadh is offense to the Vaishnavas. Let me tell you one story. I don't have so much strength to recite so many shlokas glorifying the holy name. Let me narrate a simple story. You know Dhruva Maharaj, right? Dhruva Maharaj had a brother. His name is Uttam. He is the son of Surichi, his stepbrother. One day, this Uttanapad went into the forest for hunting, and a yaksha came and killed him. And that news of Uttama's death came to Dhruva Maharaj. And when Dhruva Maharaj was a small child, he was envious of Uttama. Why? Uttam got the opportunity to sit on the lap of Uttanapad, but Dhruva did not get that opportunity. So Dhruva Maharaj had envy, jealousy towards Uttama. But after he chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya for 6 months with the blessings and guidance of Narada Muni, Dhruva Maharaj gave up all envy. He gave up all resentment feelings. He gave up all hatred or revengeful attitude towards his stepmother or stepbrother. So he became pure devotee. He was loving and caring. And eventually he became the king and Uttanapad retired and Dhrumaraj was happily ruling the kingdom. And suddenly his brother goes on hunting and he is died. And Dhrumaraj became very sad, very shaken by this death news of his brother. So, knowing that a Yaksha killed Uttama, Dhruva Maharaj wanted to take revenge on that Yaksha. He mounted on his chariot. He told his chariot driver, "Take my chariot to Alakapuri, where Yakshas stay. I want to go to the kingdom of Yakshas." So this chariot driver was driving the chariot. He went all the way to Alakapuri. And Dhruva Maharaj picked up his bow. Just he did Dhanush Tankar. He pulled the bowstring and just released it. And the sound that this Dhanush Tankar, this twanging of his bow made, terrorized the hearts of all the Yakshas. There are thousands and lakhs of Yakshas there. And all these Yakshas, just by hearing the twanging of Dhruva Maharaj's bow, they became extremely afraid, frightened. Oh, looks like our kingdom is under attack. Some great warrior came with all powers and he came to kill us. So they became a little frightened. But because of their Kshatriya spirit, they thought that we got an opportunity to fight with some proper Kshatriya now. They appreciated Dhruva Maharaj's power. So 1,30,000 Yakshas, 130,000 Yakshas came to attack Dhruva, and Dhruva was alone. So one Dhruva was fighting with how many Yakshas? 1,30,000 Yakshas, 1.3 lakh Yakshas. So they came to fight with Dhruva. And each Yaksha released 3 arrows. No. Dhruva Maharaj released 3 arrows at a time, and each Yaksha released double the amount of Dhruva's arrows. Means each Yaksha was releasing 6 arrows. How many Yakshas are there? 1,30,000. And if each Yaksha releases 6 arrows, how many arrows are coming on Dhruva at a time? Kirti. No, no, not you. Kids, only kids. Adults should not speak. 130,000 Yakshas, each releasing 6 arrows at a time. Mathematics, ninth grade mathematics. I'll have a water break. When I need a water break, I'll ask kids some questions.
7.8. I just did 13 times 6 and add these.
Wow, amazing. You did math. Okay. 7 lakh, how much is that? 7.8 lakhs. 7,80,000 arrows are coming on Dhruva every moment. How much time is required to shoot an arrow? Few seconds? Say 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Say 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds, 7,80,000 arrows are coming on Dhruva. You can just imagine. And one warrior. And it's like so much rain is falling from the sky. 1,30,000 Yakshas standing there on the battlefield, simultaneously releasing 6 arrows each on Dhruva, and Dhruva is drowned in this ocean of arrows. But just as a mountain, when it is drenched by rains will only become clean and green by that shower, Dhruva also became more rejuvenated by this fight. These arrows are coming upon him like rain showers, but Dhruva was standing like a mountain. Right? Oh, I think I didn't fight for a long time. Now these people are giving me proper fight. Let me fight. So, and Dhruva Maharaj initially appeared like sun which is setting in the ocean. When sun is setting, when you're standing on the shore of an ocean and sun is setting, it looks like sun is drowning in the ocean, but sun is not drowning. Similarly, Dhruva seemed like he's drowning in this ocean of arrows coming from Yakshas, but he was not drowning. Sun is unaffected by his setting. So for a moment, Dhruva Maharaj is drowned by these arrows, but because of his power, because of his Kshatriya spirit, he could counteract all the arrows single-handedly and he could emerge victorious. Bhagavatam gives so many analogies to present the victory of Dhruva. And Dhruva Maharaj, he thought these Yakshas must be taught a lesson. They unnecessarily killed my brother. He picked up so many arrows and he was shooting arrows, and all these Yakshas are like mm, unable to handle the power of Dhruva and they ran away from the battlefield. They just cleared the battlefield. 1,30,000 people were there, but all of them just ran away from the battlefield and Dhruva was alone there. Mm. Then Dhruva thought, these Yakshas ran away. Fight is over. I never came to Alakapuri. Let me go inside the kingdom and explore the kingdom. Let me see the way palaces are built. Let me see the architecture of the palaces. Let me see what other beauties are there in this wonderful kingdom. Let me just go inside Alakapuri kingdom. But and he told his driver also, let's go ahead inside the kingdom. Yakshas are not there. But after a few moments, Dhruva has changed his mind. He said, no, no, no. I should not explore the kingdom now because these Yakshas have mystic powers. Although they ran away from the battlefield now, they can come back to counterattack at any moment. Probably they'll come back with greater force, with greater mystic powers. I may be overpowered. I need to be very alert. It's not the time to relax and rest. Although the enemy is not on the battlefield, the enemy can come in any direction and attack me again. So let me be alert. So Dhruva Maharaj did not think that these yakshas are defeated. He did not take it for granted. He was very attentively waiting for them, thinking that they may counterattack once again. True to his expectation, these yakshas were planning to counterattack Dhruva. Dhruva was there alone talking to his uh, driver, chariot driver, and suddenly Dhruva saw a flood there. It's not the bank of ocean, but he saw a flood of water coming in. Suddenly he saw rain falling from the sky. Suddenly he saw a mystic mountain in the sky, and that mystic mountain was showering rains of blood, pus, urine, mucus, all kinds of abominable substances, and even some special powerful weapons are falling from the mystic mountain. Some lances and some arrows and some swords are falling from the mystic mountain. That's how entire land is covered with flood and fire, and the sky is also showering different weapons and abominable substances. And Dhruva was completely bewildered by this mystic ambience. And Dhruva also saw some lions, tigers, and mystic rhinoceros, snakes, pythons vomiting fire and blood from their mouth. And he also saw all kinds of demoniac people and rakshasas and rakshasas moving around, creating a very mystic and frightening ambience around him. Dhruva Maharaj was completely bewildered. He understood that these yakshas have created a mystic ambience. They used their black arts to create a mystic ambience here to overpower me. When I was fighting with them in a straightforward manner, with my military strength, with my power of weapons, They could not stand in front of me. Therefore, they took to these black arts, black magic arts. They have mystic powers. They created some magical atmosphere there and completely bewildered and overpowered Dhruva Maharaj, and he could not fight. Dhruva was completely defeated. Now, this whole fight was being observed by so many sages and devatas in the upper planets also. Seeing that Uttanapad's son, a pure devotee of Krishna, who got the darshan of Lord Vishnu at the age of 5, who became perfect in his bhakti at the age of 5 by chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, that glorious disciple of Narada Muni is being overpowered by yakshas. Some sages came there. And Dhruva Maharaj's ticket to Vaikuntha was booked. Somebody did web check-in also. He got the boarding pass with him in his phone. So someone who is destined to go to Vaikuntha is now being overpowered by some yakshas, black arts, and mystic powers. So all the sages came to the rescue of Dhruva and said, Dhruva, you have been overpowered like this. And actually, enemy generally attacks from one direction. But Dhruva found all these demons and snakes and pythons and lions and mystic demons on all directions. Where in which direction should he fight? In this one direction, this left or right, everywhere they are there, the top, bottom, everywhere. Dhruva did not know how to fight. Dhruva is completely surrounded by all these mystic powers and demoniac people and ferocious animals. He could not fight. And suddenly, these sages came to Dhruva's rescue. They said, Dhruva, you can clear all these mystic powers created by yakshas by Narayanastra. There is a special weapon called Narayana weapon. You chant the name Narayana, you chant the mantras of Narayana, and you release that Narayanastra, Narayana weapon upon all these yakshas, and that will protect you. Then, as soon as the sages reminded Dhruva Maharaj of his Narayanas, he could not remember because he was so overpowered. He forgot that he had Narayanastra with him. But he forgot that. But sages came and reminded him. These Vaishnavas, these devotees came and told him, yeah, use Narayanastra. Immediately Dhruva picked up this one weapon, one arrow, and chanted the Narayana mantra and just fixed that Narayana Astra on his bow. Before he even released this arrow, just he was about to release, he just pulled the string along this Narayana Astra. So many different types of weapons came from this Narayanastra and mm, and entered the army of yakshas and killed them, slaughtered them basically, dispelled all the magical ambience that they have created. The mystic mountain is gone, all these demons are gone, fire um, fiery pythons are gone, tigers are gone, lions are gone, all this like floods are gone, everything is finished. Dhruva Maharaj could clear the mystic ambience within few minutes just by using Narayanastra. Thus all the distractions and allurements and black arts created by yakshas are cleared by cleared by Dhruva using Narayanastra. Then Dhruva picked up many other weapons. He started fighting with the yakshas. He was slaughtering the yakshas one by one. Tens and hundreds and thousands of yakshas were killed by the Dhruva. And Dhruva eventually killed hundreds and thousands of yakshas. At one point, Dhruva was about to annihilate the entire race of yakshas. He was about to clear entire Alakapuri region. He was about to make this Alakapuri devoid of any yaksha. He was fighting to that verse. Now, Swayambhuva Manu came there. Who is Swayambhuva Manu? Dhruva's grandfather. Dhruva's father was Uttanapad. Uttanapad's father was Swayambhumanu. And Swayambhumanu came there and said, Dhruva, what are you doing? You're killing yakshas. For what reason? Because they killed your brother? Please understand, one yaksha killed your one brother, and you are killing the entire race of yakshas. Where is it written that for one person's mistake you punish an entire race or community or a group or a species? Parikshit Maharaj was cursed by one Brahmana. Who is that? Shamik Rishi's son Shringi. Did Parikshit Maharaj hate all the Brahmanas? No, right? Just because one person in a community or in a group has done a mistake, that does not mean you hate the entire race or you annihilate the entire race. Dhruva, you are you have come here to do some justice for your brother's death, but now your actions are not seeking justice; they are seeking vengeance. You are going beyond limits. You are crossing your thresholds. If one yaksha killed your brother, catching him and punishing him is appropriate. We understand that. But you are not stopping at killing that one yaksha. You are wiping out the entire race of yakshas. How is it justified? This is atirosha. Sometimes you can be angry to produce a desirable outcome, but that should be controlled anger. You should not be controlled by anger, right? You can exhibit controlled anger, but you cannot be controlled by anger. Dhruva, you have become a victim of atirosha. Atirosha means excessive anger that leads to the path of hell. When your anger crosses limits, that will take you to hell. And he speaks so many other things. And don't think that yakshas have killed your brother. They didn't kill your brother. Your brother had that karma. Don't you know that when you finished your 6 months of tapasya of chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Lord Vishnu personally told you that your brother will die. Right? It has already been predicted. Again, when your brother died, you are trying to kill so many people. Uh, your flight to Vaikuntha has already been booked. When you are about to board that flight, why are you throwing away your boarding pass? Uh, when you become excessively angry, although you are destined to go to Vaikuntha, still you may not go. Although Lord Vishnu personally invited you to Vaikuntha, if we act in ways that are against the Lord's expectations, if you become a victim of excessive anger, and if you kill innocent people, harm innocent people, how can you enter Vaikuntha? Hmm. The Lord is pleased by compassionate spirit, not this passionate spirit. You should uphold compassion and not passion. Oh, Dhruva. So, on top of it, I understand why are you becoming overexcited and killing all the yakshas. Because Dhruva Maharaj had some envy towards Uttama since childhood. Since childhood, he was envying Uttama, and everybody knows about it. In his kingdom, most people know about it. It is only out of his envy towards Uttama, this Dhruva left the kingdom at the age of 5 and he went to the forest and did some tapasya. Of course, after coming back, he was transformed, but people are aware that Dhruva had envy towards Uttama. Now, if Dhruva doesn't overreact in this way, people will continue to feel that, oh, Dhruva is rejoicing the death of Uttama. Uttama died, and now Dhruva is happy. He's not taking any action. Yakshas killed Dhruva's brother, and Dhruva is not taking any action, although he had the capacity. That means Dhruva is happy with the death of Uttama. People may perceive like that. That's why you overreacted, right? I know it. Swami Bhuman is telling Dhruva. You overreacted and you tried to kill so many yakshas because people may misunderstand that if you don't overreact in this way, people may misunderstand that you are still hateful of Uttama are envious of Uttama. They may think that you are enjoying the death of Uttama. So, just to prove that you have so much love and affection towards your brother, you are killing so many yakshas, right? It was, yeah, you understood my heart. But please understand, we all agree that you love Uttama. We agreed. You don't have to kill so many yakshas to prove that you love Uttama. We agree. Your love for your brother has been proved. Just to show that you love someone so much, you don't have to demean someone or disrespect someone or kill someone like this. It's nonsense. Please, you have you have uh, offended the king of all yakshas, Kuvera. You offended Kuvera so much, you better go and say sorry, apologize. Go and say sorry. Because when you offend great souls like uh, like uh, Kuvera, that's not good for our dynasty. Because Dhruva Maharaj is the grandfather of, sorry, grandson of Swayambhu Manu. Naturally, they are belonging to the same family. So Swayambhu Manu is concerned that our family will be affected when great souls are displeased with our family. Go and say sorry. Then immediately Dhruva Maharaj, after understanding all this philosophy, he ran towards Swayambhu Manu, to Kuvera, and said, Kuvera, I'm sorry, I killed so many of your descendants or your citizens, Yakshas. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Then Kuvera said, Dhruva, don't worry, you have not killed the Yakshas, and Yakshas have not killed your brother. It is your brother's karma, and Yakshas acted only as an instrument of his karma. And because it is Yaksha's karma to be killed in this way, you acted as an instrument of their karma. So don't worry. Both things, both events happened. You killing Yakshas and Yakshas killing your brother, both things happened by the sanction of the Lord. I take it as the Lord's will. Even if somebody is killed or he deceased or whatever, that happens for a reason. They deserve to experience that pain. That's why it happened. So you don't worry. Uh, I'm very pleased with your humility, because it's very difficult for a Kshatriya warrior to give up the war, give up the battle right in the middle. Because in the battle, people's passion is very high. And especially when you are winning the war, the passion is very high. Excitement is very high. When you're about to fight somebody, even if it's verbal argument also, even in verbal argument also, and somebody says, hey, stop, stop, you don't stop. Especially when you're winning the argument, somebody suddenly comes and says, it's okay, enough debate, enough argument, stop it. You can't stop. Right? You can't stop, right? In a verbal argument also. What to speak of physical fight on the battlefield by a powerful warrior Kshatriya like Dhruva. But in the middle of the battle, when you're about to annihilate the entire race of Yakshas, your grandfather, Swayambhumanu, came and told you to stop this war, and you stopped. So much self control you had, so much tolerance you had. You exhibited so much of obedience and submissiveness towards your grandfather, and you gave up your envy, your enmity, your revengeful attitude. I am very pleased with your humility and self control. Instead of blaming Dhruva for whatever damage he has caused to the race of Yakshas, Kuvera is appreciating Dhruva for stopping the battle. That's wonderful, right? Try to see their positive side. And Dhruva is already feeling guilty and repentant and apologetic for killing so many Yakshas. So why should you make him even more sad by saying that you should not have killed, you should not have done like that. ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था. But he didn't do all that. He appreciated Dhruva. I said, okay, fine. Uh, I'm very pleased with your good behavior. You ask any benediction you want. Whatever benediction you want, I'll give you. Then Dhruva said, I want one benediction. Just one benediction. What? May I always remember Krishna. Let me not have any obstructions in my Krishna Smaranam. Then Kuvera said, Tathastu, may you remember Krishna. beautifully. That's the story. You know why did I narrate this story? Do you know why I narrated this story? Let's discuss the story once again. If you're already bored with one narration of the story, I'm going to bore you with another uh, round of narration of the same story. First, Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, he heard the news of his brother Uttama's death, and he wanted to punish those yakshas who caused the death, who killed his brother. He went to Alakapuri to fight with them. You know what does this mean? When we are practicing sadhana bhakti, when we are chanting the names of Krishna, when we are hearing Krishna Katha, when we are trying to remember Krishna, when we are worshipping Krishna, and we are performing your devotional service, sometimes we will be disturbed by some undesirable happenings in life, and that will disturb your sadhana, that will disturb your seva, that will disturb your japa, that will disturb your spiritual life, right? It could be the death of a relative, it could be loss of a job, it could be some financial crisis, it could be some health crisis, it could be any other problem. Let me not name it. So when we are practicing bhakti like Dhruva, there will be some undesirable happenings in life that will disturb us, that will disturb our absorption in bhakti. Then, to avoid that disturbance or to address that disturbance, we may want to take an action. Dhruva Maharaj, what did he do? He wanted to destroy these yakshas. He wanted to punish the yakshas for unceremoniously killing his brother, which is right. Definitely for a Kshatriya who lost one of his relatives unnecessarily, he should go and punish those people who caused the death unnecessarily. Right? Till that point, Dhruva Maharaj is correct. Just because you're a devotee, that does not mean that you mm, don't have any emotions. Even if you're a devotee, pure Vaishnava practicing bhakti, you know so much philosophy, still we have emotions for our near and dear ones. So Dhruva Maharaj's emotions are perfectly justified. Don't say that oh, Dhruva Maharaj is supposed to understand Jatasya hi dhruva mrityur dhruvam janma vartasya cha dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. Not necessary. Even Arjuna also, when his son Abhimanyu died in the battle, Arjuna was so overwhelmed with emotions. He was extremely emotional. Just a couple of days back, he heard Bhagavad Gita, and right in front of the speaker of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, Arjuna is feeling, oh, my son died, my son died. He has taken a vow. By tomorrow evening, if I can't kill the killer of my son, I will kill myself. He took that vow. Emotions are there. Philosophy is not meant to kill our emotions. Philosophy is meant to regulate our emotions so that we don't become dysfunctional by being overly emotional. When you are overly emotional, you become dysfunctional. Don't become dysfunctional by being emotional. To properly function according to your duties, you please borrow some strength from philosophy. But being overly philosophical, overly analytical, you don't kill your emotions. There should be balance of emotions and philosophy. When you're too much analytical, when you're too philosophical, you don't have finer emotions. Even if somebody dies, death is common. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? He must have gone back to Godhead. Fine. You can say all this to console and pacify someone, not with a hard heart. Right? Too much of logic and too much of reasoning, too much of philosophy also will make our heart hard. And too much of emotions also will make our heart weak. That weak heartedness and hard heartedness, both are two extremes. Right? Don't be overly emotional, don't be overly philosophical. Bhakti teaches us to balance emotions and philosophy. So Dhruva Maharaj, he had justified emotions at the death of his brother, but later he became overly emotional. It became like an emotional outburst, and that emotional outburst caused the death of so many people. Anyways, Dhruva Maharaj went there. So the lesson here is, when we are practicing bhakti, when we are practicing Krishna consciousness, sometimes there are some disturbing events in our life. They will distract us so much so that just to address those difficulties, we may cross certain limits in our dealings with people. And Dhruva did that. And when Dhruva Maharaj was fighting with the Yakshas, initially he was successful. Initially, what was he doing? To draw a parallel or a lesson for our sadhana bhakti, initially he was disturbed in his bhakti and is trying to address that disturbance. He's trying to counteract the disturbance. So he went and uh, was trying to punish the yakshas. And he was successful in doing so. He was successful in defeating. Now you draw a parallel here. Dhruva Maharaj's fight with the yakshas is like a sadhaka's fight with Maya. Maya disturbs us. When Maya is disturbing us, don't accept the disturbance. Go and fight with Maya. That's what Dhruva is doing. Dhruva is doing bhakti. And Maya disturbed him, means Yakshas disturbed him by killing his brother. And Dhruva Maharaj is trying to fight back with the disturbance. Right? Similarly, Sadhaka is doing bhakti. Maya disturbs us. You should go and fight with Maya. Prabhupada says performing bhakti or practicing Krishna consciousness means declaring a war against Maya. And Dhruva Maharaj declared a war against Maya. Maya here is Yakshas. Initially, in this war, in this battle, Dhruva Maharaj was emerging victorious. Although 780,000 arrows were coming on Dhruva every few moments, he could counteract them. He was successful in his attempts to counteract Maya. Similarly, when we sadhakas, when we are fighting with Maya, we become successful initially. Because of our determination, our devotion in chanting the names of the Lord and worshipping the Lord and reading Bhagavatam and associating with devotees, we may be able to stay away from Maya's disturbance. We may be able to defeat Maya also for some time. It happened, right? Initially it happens. Right? Then Maya runs away. You're chanting nicely. Uh, you're consistently chanting 16 rounds. Initially there is ups and downs. You chant 1 round, 2 rounds, then you come to 4 rounds, then again come back to 1 round, then you go to 6 rounds, you chant 6 rounds for a while, then again come to 3 rounds, then come to 8, somehow settle in 16. You consistently chant 16, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, wonderful, amazing, excellent. Then you think that I have become a pure devotee now. Last 1 year, every day I chanted 16 rounds. Last 2 years, every day I chanted 16 rounds. Last 3 years, I have been chanting 16 rounds every day consistently, attentively, with absorption. You may think like that. Just like Dhruva Maharaj, when he defeated the Yakshas, 1,30,000 Yakshas successfully, he thought, I have become victorious now. Let me go and explore their city, Alakapur. He was thinking like that. Like a sadhaka who managed to stay away from distractions and conquer Maya for some time, Dhruva Maharaj also became confident that I have defeated these Yakshas. Now I am victorious. But Dhruva Maharaj thought that these yakshas may come and counteract me again. They may attack me once again. They are very powerful. So I should not take it for granted that I have defeated them. I should be very alert now. I should be attentive now. I think I will anticipate more of their attacks. So Dhruva Maharaj uh, did not explore Alakapuri. He was standing there, sitting there in his chariot, and he is being alert, watching them. True to his expectation, Yakshas came with greater force. They created black arts and mystic arts. Similarly, although you are able to conquer Maya, protect yourself from the distractions of Maya for some time, you should be alert. because Maya may keep quiet for some time, but Maya will come back with greater force later. It's like Yakshas were initially mm, fighting in a very straightforward manner, and Dhruva could manage it. He could overpower the Yakshas. But later, when these Yakshas, same Yakshas, came with black arts, Dhruva could not do anything. Similarly, when we are practicing bhakti, Maya may initially give us some small difficulties, smaller distractions. But as we become senior devotees, as we become seasoned devotees, experienced devotees chanting Hare Krishna and practicing bhakti for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, we have become little seasoned in staying away from smaller distractions. Maya will create bigger obstacles, greater distractions like pride, greed, envy, malice, superiority complex, desire for power, position, subordinates, disciples. I'm a senior devotee, they should respect me. They are not respecting me, they are committing Vaishnava Aparadh. They are not being obedient in front of me. I'm guide, I'm counselor, I'm mentor, I'm Siksha Guru, I'm Diksha Guru, I'm Sadguru, I'm as good as Chaitya Guru. Uh, so many such identities will come in. Initially, we are new bhaktas. We feel fortunate to stand in Narsimharti and Tulsi Arti also. But later you feel, hey, Narsingh Arti, I should sing. मैं गुरुकुल का बच्चा हूँ क्या? In GE, there is some school kids. We give them Narsingh Arti. Children should sing Narsingh Arti every day, and adults will sing Mangal Arti. So one day school is off and there is no, there are no kids to sing Narsingh Arti. One of our brahmacharis was approached. Can you sing Narsingh Arti today? He said, मैं क्या मैं स्कूल का बच्चा हूँ क्या? Am I kid to sing Narsingh Arti? I will lead Mangal Arti only. I will not sing Narsingh Arti. Instead of considering it as a privilege to glorify Narasimhadev, he is thinking it's below his dignity to chant Narasimharti. I should only lead Mangalarti or Guru Puja or maybe some big Kirtan, Gaurarti. But I can't do this Narasimharti 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Why? He's a senior devotee. Brahmachari. Right? Saffron. Saffron bhi mil gaya mujhe. So this kind of pride, sense of superiority complex will come. They are attacks of Maya. When you think you are a senior devotee, when you think you are a seasoned devotee, when you think I am more experienced, I am senior now, when you are expecting respect, that means Maya is attacking us with greater force. Initially, there may be some distractions in japa. You may sleep in japa. Some devotee, hey, get up, Prabhu. Ah, sorry, Prabhu. I'm very grateful to you for waking me up in japa. But later, all they are sleeping in japa, and somebody wakes you, hey, you can't correct seniors. You understand? We are seniors. You cannot correct seniors. I was in samadhi. You are perceiving that I am sleeping in japa, but I was in trance. I was meditating on Ashtakaliya Leela. I was meditating on Radha Krishna Leelas. Just now, Yashoda Mother is tying Krishna in Damodar Leela in my meditation. You disturb my meditation. When seniority increases, even though it's evident that we have made a mistake, ego doesn't allow us to admit that mistake. Honor, a sense of honor and prestige. In initial days of bhakti, we admit mistakes. We think, oh, when somebody corrects our mistakes, we are grateful for the correction. But as we advance in bhakti or spend more years in bhakti, even if it is very evident that we have made a mistake, we don't have the honesty to accept that mistake because there's some seniority ego. Right? That is greater force of Maya. Maya may not attack us by creating a mystic mountain with falling weapons there. by sending some pythons and snakes vomiting fire. All that will come in the form of pride, ego, superiority complex or inferiority complex, jealousy, envy, hatred. All these are greater attacks of Maya. And when Maya attacks us with greater force, the way Yakshas attacked Dhruva with greater force, what happens is Dhruva Maharaj forgot Narayanastra. He had Narayanastra. He had the um, he had the ability to use Narayanastra, but Dhruva Maharaj forgot about it. He could not pick up that arrow and then release that arrow. What to do? He forgot. Because Maya bewildered him. Maya means like Yakshas, black arts and magical ambience that Yakshas created that bewildered Dhruva that he forgot Narayanastra. Similarly, when Maya bewilders us with greater force in the form of pride, superiority complex, desire for power, hunger for respect, then what happens is we will forget holy name. He forgot Narayanastra, we forget the name of Narayana, name of Krishna. We, we just as Dhruva Maharaj forgot to use Narayanastra when Yakshas attacked him with greater force, we will also forget to take shelter of the holy names of Krishna when Maya attacks us with greater force in the form of pride, envy, greed, desire for power, position, name, fame, hankering for respect and honor. All this will make us forget to take shelter of the holy names. Even while chanting Hare Krishna, we don't remember Krishna. It happens many times. Even while taking darshan of Krishna, you don't remember Krishna. Even while hearing about Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Leela, we forget Krishna. It happened many times. Many times. While chanting Hare Krishna, do you remember Krishna? Holy name is on your tongue. Tulsi beads are in your hands. Vaishnavas are around us. But we don't remember Krishna. Did you ever wonder that while uttering Krishna's name, I am not remembering Krishna, I am remembering something else. I am remembering about some argument that I had with some devotee yesterday. I am preparing my arguments to defeat him. I should have spoken that to him. I should have counter argued with him in this way. Tomorrow he'll come, right? I will give him a good dose. You're chanting round after round. You're pulling the counter beats 1, 2, 3, 4, 16. 16 rounds of meditation went. You chanted 16 into 188 mantras. Not even once we could remember Krishna, but we were meditating only on that argument with the devotee. Or we are disappointed. Why I am not given this position? Why he selected for this position? I am a senior devotee. He wanted power, position, name, fame, prestige, control. Why my opinion is not accepted in that meeting? I give the most logical and most practical opinion. These people don't know practicality only. And all this discussion is happening while chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Or while hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. You are hearing pure glories of Krishna and you are meditating on your own glories. The glories of your opinions, your worldviews, your perspectives, your practical application perspectives. The greatest practical application is to focus on Krishna Katha. But that is silent. While sitting in Katha, while giving Katha also mind is distracted sometimes. Even while you are practicing, when you are hearing about the Lord also, when you are speaking about the Lord also, mind is not focusing on the Lord. Mind is focusing on, is the video being taken properly or not? How many are there online watching the video? It happens. Right? So focus goes on public attention and personal attention from public than attention on Krishna's glories. Right? This is Maya. Just like Yakshas attacked Dhruva with greater force, Maya will attack us with greater force by making us attracted to name, fame, public attention, desire for power, prestige, influence over us. This is Maya. And this attack of Maya is more powerful than the attack of Yakshas on Dhruva. Sometime back when I was discussing how these Yakshas attacked Dhruva and what kind of mystic ambience that they created, we got a little scared. Oh, really? But that's nothing. That's nothing in comparison to how Maya attacks a seasoned devotee with a greater force. By making the devotee prioritize public attention and mm, and desire for power position more than sincerely chanting Krishna's name, sincerely serving devotees. That's why sometimes it feels that I think I should have remained as a neophyte devotee only. In those days, I used to respect everyone. I should. I would not have. I would not judge anyone. I used to have respect for everyone. But now I'm becoming judgmental. I'm being critical. Am I advancing or degrading in my consciousness? We need to check. We need to do some self-evaluation time to time. Mhm. Just as Yakshas attacked Dhruva with a greater force, initially Dhruva could counteract the Yakshas. Similarly, a sadhaka could stay away from Maya. Maya is saying, why you are not eating meat? Why did you stop eating meat? Why are you not watching movies? Why are you not dressing yourself very lavishly, opulently style? Why this kind of simple clothes? What is this in the neck? You should wear some golden ornaments. Uh, what is this hairstyle? You should have you follow some South Indian heroes in your hairstyle. You see, initially we managed to overcome all those obstacles of smaller distractions. We managed to come to the stage of following four regulative principles. We managed to stay away from unnecessary opulence, unnecessary luxuries. We adopted a simple lifestyle. We became vegetarians, Krishnatarians, eating only prasadam. But after spending some time in bhakti, we may not become inflicted or affected by gross anarthas, but subtle anarthas will attack us more powerfully than before. Subtle anarthas of pride, envy, desire for power, position, influence. Uh, these subtle anarthas are more powerful than gross anarthas. Critical mentality, criticizing Vaishnavas. We will be bewildered so much so that we forget to take shelter of Krishna's holy names also. Just as Dhruva Maharaj was so bewildered by the Yakshas black arts that he forgot to take shelter of Narayana weapon. And we forget to take shelter of Narayana's name, Krishna's name. We forget holy name. While chanting holy name, we forget holy name. While taking darshan of Krishna, we don't see Krishna. We see someone else. Or we see ourselves. In the mind, all these conflicts and this and that is going on. Krishna, you're not taking darshan of Krishna. You'll think, oh, I was more prayerful while taking darshan earlier. Now I'm like doing it as a formality. Or even if I don't take darshan 1 or 2 days, it doesn't make any difference. कुछ फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता मुझे. So we should be concerned about it. Our devotion should increase, not diminish. Our dependence on Krishna should increase, not dependence on our own experience, so-called experience and uh, power and position. Our prayerful attitude will increase, should increase as we are becoming seniors. But something else is increasing. We expect others to pray to us as Maya attacks us. And the greatest attack of Maya is to make us disinclined to take shelter of Krishna, Krishna's names. That's the greatest attack of Maya. Just as Dhruva Maharaj forgot to take Narayanastra, although he's aware of it, we forget to take shelter of Krishna's names, although we are aware of the power of holy name. Vaktum samarthopi navakti kaschid aho jananam yasanabhimukhya. Vaktum samarthopi means although they are capable of uttering the names of Krishna, Vaktum samarthopi navakti kaschid. They are able to chant the names of Krishna, they don't chant the names of Krishna. Aho jananam yasanabhimukhyam. What great misfortune, what great misfortune. Yasana abhimukhyam. They are abhimukha, they are inclined towards their own self-destruction by neglecting the holy names of Krishna. Mangal Thakur, Kulashekar Alvar, they are all concerned about it. Nam Nam Akari Bahudha Nija Sarvashakti Tattarpitani Himate Smaranayana Kala. Although holy name is all merciful, Bahudha Nija Sarvashakti Tattarpita. Krishna has invested all his powers in the holy name of Krishna. That means holy name is all powerful. And second, Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kala. There are no hard and fast rules in when to chant the names of the Lord. So holy name is all accessible. Yetadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamami. Holy name is as merciful as Krishna. Holy name is all powerful, all accessible, all merciful. Still, Vaktam Samartho Pinavakti Kashi Aho Jananam Yasana Bhimukhyam. People don't chant, thinking that I can manage on my own. I don't need holy name. That's what we are indirectly declaring by being inattentive in our chanting. While chanting, generally for a sadhaka, distractions are common. Mind cannot focus. But while chanting, when we are consciously getting destroyed, and even after realizing that I am getting distracted, still we are not doing anything to come out of the distraction, that means Maya has attacked us. Right? And the mind goes here and there, that's the nature of mind. But we should try to bring the mind back, pull the mind back. If you are not making an attempt to bring the mind back and focus on the holy name, that means there is no sincerity. We don't have purity, that is clear. Lack of purity is okay, but lack of sincerity is the problem. If there is sincerity, eventually purity will manifest. If there is no sincerity only, there is a question of purity. Right? We are not pure yet, we understand it. We have a long way to go. But what will take us to the level of purity? When there is sincerity. So we don't chant sometimes. Or while chanting, we don't chant. Chanting is going on, counting is going on, but taking shelter is not there. I'm saying this. I'm not on this level. If you think I'm on that level, that's your problem, not my problem. Let me honestly admit that I'm also struggling. I also have a long way to go. But I'm just trying to remind myself in your holy association. That's all I'm trying to do. All of us are, at least I'm on work in progress. So one may even forget to take shelter of Krishna because of the attack of Maya. Just as Dhruva forgot to take shelter of Narayanastra because of the attack of Rakshas. When we are so bewildered by Maya like this, who will come to rescue us? Who will protect us? Vaishnavas. Just as sages came to the rescue of Dhruva, saying that Dhruva, don't be bewildered by the black arts created by Yakshas. Pick up your Narayanastra, counterattack them. Similarly, when we are bewildered by Maya, when we are distracted in our devotional service, Vaishnava Sangha will come to our rescue. They help us to take shelter of Krishna's names. Please sincerely chant Krishna's name. Whenever we are in difficulties or distraction, we say, Prabhu, kya karu, what am I supposed to do, what am I supposed to do? You just chant, take shelter of Krishna's names. Come, sit with me and chant. Come, well, let's chant our rounds together. Right? That's how devotees again encourage us and inspire us to take shelter of Krishna's holy names sincerely. You have become so distracted that you forgot to chant Krishna's names. Now let me help you chant Krishna's names. Solution is same, but someone has to repeatedly follow with us to apply that solution. Sometimes, although doctor prescribed a powerful medicine, we forget to take that medicine. It doesn't make much sense, but we forget to take medicine. Someone has to say, hey, did you take medicine? Oh, I forgot, I forgot. I was telling 3 o'clock in the night. Oh my God. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was supposed to take this medicine at 12:30 p.m. or 1 p.m. 2 hours late. Let me take now. We know we are diseased. And we have an effective medicine given by a bona fide doctor, but we don't take the medicine. Someone has to remind us. How many times you have forgotten a medicine and one of your family members reminded you to take that medicine? Same thing in bhakti also. We forget to take shelter of Krishna's names, someone will remind us, please take shelter of Krishna's names. Therefore, we should keep ourselves in Vaishnava Sangha. Actually, not chanting Krishna's names is the most senseless thing that can ever happen to us. Say, if somebody is very hungry, somebody is extremely hungry, and you give him a plate full of meal, and he's not eating it. And you ask him, why are you not eating? He says, I am so hungry, therefore I am not eating it. Does it make any sense to you? If, if you ask them, why are you not eating food? If the answer that he gives is, I am very hungry, therefore I am not eating. Yes, Shivam, does it make any sense? No. If somebody is sick and you give an effective medicine and he's not taking that medicine, and you ask him, why are you not taking medicine? He would say, I am so sick, therefore I am not taking medicine. I am not taking medicine because I'm sick. Does it make any sense? Does the answer sound logical or reasonable at all? Similarly, when we ask people, please hear Krishna Katha, chant the holy names of Krishna, they say, I have a lot of material problems. Therefore, I cannot chant, I cannot hear. Does it make any sense to you now? It doesn't make any sense. But that's what we do. That's the excuse we give. I'm caught up in so many material responsibilities, material anxieties. Therefore, I'm not hearing and chanting. If someone gives that reason, that's the most senseless answer. We must have given that answer also many times. Right now, I have many difficulties, many problems. Therefore, I can't take to chanting or hearing now. No, it's too much. No. Let me finish this problem. Right? Come out of the problems by chanting Hare Krishna permanently, forever. Addressing material anxieties will become a priority over entering an anxiety free life. Right? I'm so busy addressing these anxieties. I'm so busy, so caught up that I'm forgetting to embrace this path of anxiety free life. By chanting Hare Krishna, I can permanently and eternally be relieved from any material anxiety whatsoever. But instead of taking this solution, I'm I'm very caught up in addressing this current anxiety. It doesn't make much sense. Why do we give such senseless answers or hold that senseless thoughts? Because of Maya, because of anarthas. Uh, Dhruva Maharaj has Narayanastra. He's aware of it, but he's not picking up the Narayanastra. Why? He forgot because of the Maya created by the Yakshas. Right? Similarly, because of Maya, we have so many anarthas, so we cannot take shelter of Krishna's names, although we know it. Vaishnavas have to come and remind us. The sages came and reminded Dhruva Maharaj, you pick up Narayana Astra, no other Astra will counteract. Similarly, some Vaishnavas should come and remind us, my dear. Sadhaka, who struggling sadhaka, please take shelter of Krishna's names. Fine. Dhruva Maharaj picked up Narayana Astra, counteracted all the black arts and magical black arts created by the Yakshas, and he became victorious again. Till then, story is good. But what's next? Dhruva Maharaj started annihilating all the Yakshas, entire Yaksha race. We're going through the story again. But second round of going through story is with a lot of sadhaka parallels. Hope you must have noticed it. So Dhruva Maharaj uh, started killing all the Yakshas. He started destroying all the yakshas, so much so that he wanted to annihilate the entire race of yakshas. Then what happened? Swayambhu came and said, "Hey, don't do this." He stopped him. Similarly, in our life also, while practicing bhakti with sincerity and determination, we sometimes condemn Maya so much. Protect yourself from Maya, but don't condemn Maya. Don't hate Maya. Dhruva Maharaj was supposed to protect himself from the yakshas, but not to annihilate the entire race of yakshas. Similarly, we should protect ourselves from the distractions presented by the material energy, but we should not hate the material energy. Don't hate matter. When you hate matter, you become a jnani. So, no need to hate this material universe. No need to hate materialistic people. No need to destroy materialistic people. Transform them if possible. Engage them in Krishna service if possible. While trying to stay away from Maya, either in the form of money, either in the form of wealth, name, fame, prestige, or attraction towards opposite gender, we tend to condemn it. For example, like being too caught up in these likes and shares and comments and YouTube views, etc., that could be Maya. But you can utilize it Krishna's preaching also, right? Am I concerned about the views or reach uh, just to mm, just for self promotion or promotion of Krishna consciousness? Am I uh, like some people want money, devotees want money? Am I acquiring this money to serve Krishna or to become wealthy myself? So, while seeing money as a source of distraction in bhakti, we condemn money so much that we forget that money can be utilized in Krishna's service. This media can be utilized in Krishna's service. These phones and gadgets can be utilized in Krishna's service. Even that so-called materialistic people also can contribute to Krishna's service in some way. So you should stay away from distractions presented by material energy, but not hate material energy itself, because that is Krishna's energy. Material energy is also Krishna's energy. We can use it in Krishna's service. Don't be overpowered by material energy, but don't hate it. Right? Use that material energy in Krishna's service, whether it is wealth or name or fame or public attention or whatever it is. Don't be attached to it, but be attached to using it in Krishna's service. Right? Sometimes we want to stay away so much from Maya. I've seen there are some fanatic brahmacharis. Mm. Yes, brahmachari should stay away from opposite gender. Mm. There should be gap, but that should not become disrespect. So there is a difference between maintaining a respectful distance from the opposite gender and disrespecting the opposite gender. See them as mothers, see them as sisters, and if you're older, like a sannyasi, see them as daughters. But sometimes, while trying to maintain one's renounced spirit or renounced order, one may end up condemning the opposite gender and disrespect the opposite gender and miss the blessings coming from those Vaishnavis. That's another form of Maya, right? So, being alert in bhakti is good. Protecting oneself from Maya is important, very important. But that does not mean we hate Maya. Hmm. Because Maya is Krishna's energy. Matter is Krishna's energy. Hmm. Sometimes being so absorbed in sadhana or being so determined in mm, practicing bhakti, if someone neglects one's body, material body, what will happen to the body? You can't do sadhana anymore. Simple. So Yakshas killed Dhruva's brother, and Dhruva can punish them. But Dhruva went so overboard that he wanted to annihilate all the yakshas, entire race of yakshas. Isn't that too much? Similarly, we should stay away from Maya. We should not be distracted by Maya, but don't hate Maya. Krishna said, Mama Maya. This Maya is mine. How can you hate Krishna's Maya? You take shelter of Krishna and remain unaffected by Maya. But that does not mean you hate this universe, hate this world, hate these people. We should no single living being should be an object of our hatred. We should not hate anyone. Even if they hate you, you should not hate anyone. Stay away from them. If they're distracting in bhakti, stay away from them. But that does not mean you hate them. Don't hold any malice towards any living being. What to speak of another Vaishnava? You may have different opinion. Fine. They have their opinion. You have your opinion. They have their style of serving Krishna. You have your way of serving Krishna. No problem. But just because their style is different from your style, that does not mean you criticize them or you hate them or you ridicule them. That becomes Vaishnava Aparad. That becomes a Maya. That becomes another form of Maya. Sometimes by being overly conscious of not getting distracted by Maya, we are more conscious of Maya than conscious of Krishna. Right? So Dhruva Maharaj went overboard in condemning the Yakshas. Initially, he wanted to defeat the Yakshas. He did it in a straightforward manner. That till then, spiritual life is good. Then Maya overly attacked him. Then he counterattacked with greater force by taking shelter of holy name, by taking shelter of the Vaishnavas, the sages. Till then, it is also good. But later, he started condemning these yakshas so much that he wanted to annihilate the entire race only. That is not required. Then again, who came to his rescue? Again, another Vaishnava, Swayambhu who came to his rescue. So, obstacles can come in any form in our bhakti. It could come in the form of minor distractions or major distractions, so much so that we forget the holy name also. But it could come in the form of overly hating material energy also. Overly hating material energy. And that creates a greater obstacle in bhakti. Then who protects us from those distractions? Loving, well wishing, caring Vaishnavas will protect us. Caring Vaishnavas, well wishing Vaishnavas, and we all should have such well wishing devotees around us who remind us to take shelter of Krishna's holy names, who will remind us not to become victims of excessive anger, uncontrolled emotions. So, all these yakshas, they definitely created a lot of disturbance to mm, Dhruva, and he tried to counteract the disturbance, but he went overboard. He crossed his limits, despite being a very exalted, elevated, senior devotee who got the sakshatkar of Lord Vishnu also. Still, he needed guidance. Just in this one little fight only, Dhruva got guidance from some sages, Vaishnava sages. Later, he got guidance from Swayambhu Manu. Then he got blessings of Kuvera. A devotee of that stature, Dhruva, needed assistance from three categories of devotees in one small incident, where he went through so many ups and downs in his emotions, emotional outbursts. What to speak of us? How fallen we are, how unqualified we are, how inexperienced we are. We should never be overconfident in our bhakti. Maya is very powerful. And when Dhruva Maharaj went to Kuvera, he begged for this blessing. Kuvera asked, take anything from me. What did Dhruva ask? Yes, what did Dhruva ask?
Um, like for mercy, like
Yes, Kirti, what did Dhruva ask?
that, no,
Correct, that's the right answer. May I always remember Krishna. She asked for constant Krishna Smarana. Uh, Dhruva asked for constant Krishna Smarana. Kirti's word. You know why did he ask? Who is a more exalted devotee? Kuvera, who is ruling the Yakshas, or Dhruva, who got the darshan of Krishna at the age of 5? Who is a more exalted devotee? Tell me between Dhruva and Kuvera. Dhruva. But Dhruva is begging, may I remember Krishna? And Kuvera says, Tathastu. How do you understand this? Yes, kids, water break. Yes, children here. Shivam, you want to answer? How can Kuvera bless Dhruva with the benediction of Krishna Smaranam when Dhruva is a more exalted devotee than Kuvera? That's the question. I know these three. Other kids, I don't know who are there. There's some kids here. Anyone wants to answer?
Is it because he wants to actively remember
Hmm.
making efforts?
He definitely wanted to actively remember Krishna. But the question is, how can uh, Kuvera bless Dhruva? Dhruva is a senior devotee. Can you bless a senior sannyasi? Can you bless someone who is double your age, who already practiced bhakti so much for several years? Is it possible? Anyone else? Okay, adults. Children. Dhruva offended Kuvera, so he forgave. Connected to the Krishna Smarana. Humility, okay, very good. Yes.
Krishna came in the form of Kubera and checked.
Oh, really? Which commentary is this? Which Acharya has written this commentary? Yes, Mataji.
Kuvera is also a devotee of Krishna, doing a certain role in following Krishna.
Okay.
That's
Anything
why
else?
Manu told
Kuvera?
Kuvera.
That's fine. My question is, how can a less exalted devotee like Kuvera bless a more exalted devotee like Dhruva with constant Krishna Smaranam? The two, Dhruva got the darshan of Krishna at the age of 5.
So there is no age or higher or lower authority for the blessing. So whoever gives the blessing, it should be.
That's a good answer. That's a wonderful answer.
When he was fighting, he forgot about Narayana. So at that time, he forgot the name. So he missed Krishna at that time.
Okay.
So blessing.
So this junior, senior considerations are not there. You can take blessings from anyone. Okay, good perspective. Anything more? Yes.
Also, it's a reminder that even though like we got a direct darshan of the Krishna himself, but the Kuvera is the not even get darshan. He can actually forgiving you and remember
Okay.
asking you to remember the Krishna.
We are almost there. Yes.
Kuvera showed forbearance when, despite Dhruva attacked his descendants, Kuvera didn't hold it against him.
Okay. Correct. Anything more? Kirti?
Kubera is king of rituals, he might be acting in his official position.
Official position does not give any authority to someone to bless a pure devotee. Okay, I got some hints, some indirect answers.
Any blessing that makes him remember God, even if it comes from anyone, but any blessing that makes him remember God,
Good, wonderful. Something similar to that. So, point is, some of you have already indicated it. Acharyas give this explanation. Dhruva Maharaj offended Kubera, and Swayambhumanu told, offense to such great souls will not be good for our dynasty. So Dhruva Maharaj considered that what is inauspiciousness in my spiritual life? When I'm disinclined towards remembering Krishna, that's the greatest inauspiciousness. Me forgetting Krishna is the greatest inauspiciousness. So, because I caused displeasure to the heart of Kubera, his displeasure will act as an obstacle in my Krishna Smaranam. Whether they're senior devotees or junior devotees or kids or older ones, if some Vaishnav, practicing Vaishnav or pure Vaishnav, if some Vaishnav is displeased with our behavior, our conduct, our actions, our words, their displeasure will act as an obstacle to our Krishna Smarana. We cannot remember Krishna by displeasing another Vaishnava. When you notice that, when you realize that I have displeased someone, immediately go, fall at their feet and beg forgiveness. And that's what Dhruva is trying to do. And when Kubera said, I bless you with your desire, that basically meant that I am not holding any grudge towards you. I have completely forgiven you. You are anxious that when I am displeased, you won't be able to remember Krishna. I am relieving you from that anxiety. I am not displeased at all. I am not displeased with you. Whatever has happened, I accept it as Krishna's will. Go and remember Krishna happily. Right? So when another Vaishnava holds some displeasure against us, our actions or words, we won't be able to remember Krishna. And otherwise, manifesting this principle by begging blessing from apparently younger one or a less exalted one. So, to remember Krishna, to chant Krishna's names, to protect ourselves from Maya, we need Vaishnava's association. And the central theme of this entire episode is when you take shelter of Krishna's name, you can be relieved from Maya's distractions. But we'll be able to effectively take shelter of Krishna's name or remember Krishna only with the assistance and support of Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas should constantly remind us, take shelter of Krishna's names. Dhruva Maharaj took shelter of Narayana's name, Narayanastra, and only then he was able to counteract the Yakshas. But for him to take shelter of Krishna's name, Vaishnavas have to support him. So this is like another perspective of understanding the glory of Krishna's name, which remains inaccessible to us without the assistance of Vaishnavas. Holy name is glorious, no doubt. We discussed initially, first 15-20 minutes, we discussed about Krishna's holy names in various ways. But to access the potency of holy name, we need the Vaishnava's mercy. Without the mercy of Vaishnavas, we can't access the purity of holy name, glory of holy name. Okay. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments? Yes. You answered the question, now you're asking the question. How many of you are chanting Hare Krishna? At least. How many are chanting 16 rounds? How many are chanting more than 8 rounds? 16 rounds, don't raise your hands. How many of you chanting more than 8 rounds? Between 8 to 16. Okay. How many are chanting more than 4? Between 4 to 8. Between 4 to 8. Okay. How many of you are not chanting at all? Did not begin chanting, at least 1 round. Oh, you picked up the mic. From tomorrow you pick up the beat. Not tomorrow, today. Today is Ekadashi. And you heard about holy name. Today is the right day to start. Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your lecture. I feel like I'm sitting somewhere in southern part of India in a gurukul. Your voice is so mesmerizing, and I feel like I'm sitting in a gurukul.
My voice is very bad today.
No, I have heard some of your class in NC. I came to the program last week in the weekend, but I couldn't hear much of your lecture because my mom is not well. So first time she was admitted in a hospital and I was constantly in call with her, so I couldn't hear much in your classes. So your voice is so mesmerizing. I feel like it's a Gurukul. Coming to my question, so it's a little bit long question. So you have quoted like 351 Bhagavad Gita and 9.14 verses, right? So did Krishna mention like any name you have? Krishna said that chant my name, but did he specifically mention what is that name exactly? Just
My
Krishna
name,
or
name of Krishna.
yeah, just name Krishna or Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya?
Basically,
What
Krishna,
Dhruva Maharaj has chanted.
Krishna has so many names. Govinda, Mukunda, Damodara, Madhusudana, Trivikrama, Vamadana, hundreds of names. Nam Akari Bahudha. So which of those names should we chant? In principle, we can chant any of those names, but because all the names are powerful, but still, our Upanishads and our Acharyas teach us to chant the name of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So
Iti Shodashatam Nam Kali Kalmashanasa. So these 16 words, this mantra that has 16 words that can completely destroy the Kali Kalmasha, the contamination of Kalika. Shatru Chelaika Mantra. So we chant this.
So you answered my last part of the question. So there is a saying that if you take Radha's name, Krishna will listening quickly, then you call Krishna. So people say Radhe Radhe or Radhe Krishna most of the time. So I don't know what Dhruv Maharaj chanted at that time. You didn't mention about that, but my question is like I can do Radhe Radhe or I can do Radhe Krishna. Why I have to only go with Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because this mantra is like everyone is different. I see people walking around and chanting and driving and chanting. People are driving and chanting and a lot of things they do while chanting. So it's like diverting and doing work and chanting. I mean, in that case, you can say Radhe Radhe or Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya whole day. You can chant whenever you get time. Why only repeat 16 rounds and the mantra?
Radheti nama navasundara sidhumuddham Krishneti nama madhuradbhuta gadha duddham Sarvakshanam surabhiraga himena ramyam Kritva tadaiva pibame rasanekshadarte Radheti nama navasundara sidhumuddham. Srimati Radharani's name is like fresh nectar. Krishneti nama madhuradbhuta gadhaduddham. Krishna's name is like the most wonderful condensed milk. Radharani's name is fresh nectar, Krishna's name is condensed milk. The combination of these two names is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that Hare is the name of Srimati Radharani, the divine energy of Krishna. And Rama and Krishna are the names of the Lord. So in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that has 16 words, 8 words are indicating the Supreme Lord Krishna, 8 words we are referring to Srimati Radharani. And combination is like combination of condensed milk and fresh nectar. And you add the ice of your enthusiasm and your thirst for spiritual pleasure is fulfilled. So when you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which may be little long compared to the smaller words or mantras that you are saying, but it is recommended. Procedure may be elaborate. There are so many hundreds of medicines in the medical shop, all are effective, all are great. But the doctor has given some medicines name, specific medicines name in the prescription. We go with the prescription.
So this mantra is in the verse or it is given by later coming incarnation?
Kalisantaran Upanishad.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Iti Shodashakam Namna Kali Kalmashanasana Nataha Parataropaya Sarvavedeshu Dushyati. There is no other upaya, there is no other way, even if you search all the Upanishads, all the scriptures. So this is specifically recommended. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given so many Vaishnava acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, all the Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, all of them chanted this mantra. So we go by the scriptural authority, we go by Guru's instruction, we go by Sadhu's legacy. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra are giving us this mantra. We are not against any other bona fide mantras. Any mantra coming from a bona fide scripture taught by a bona fide Guru, we respect that mantra. If you go to South India, many Sri Vaishnavas chant Om Namo Narayana. If you are initiated in that sampradaya, please chant Om Namo Narayana. We have no objection. We have enough glorification of Narayana mantra everywhere. The general episode is chanting Narayana mantra. Today, Dhruva Maharaj episode, Narayana mantra. If you are bona fide Vaishnava Guru coming in a proper sampradaya, he recommends that you chant Om Namo Bhagavad Vasudeva, do it. We are saying these mantras are potent as long as they are coming from a bona fide scripture and authorized by a bona fide Guru, they are potent. But if you are initiated into a particular Vaishnava Sampradaya, you follow the instruction given by those acharyas and the prescribed books that they are recommending. So we follow Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So when you say Vaishnava Sampradaya, so it looks like a Varna, what it is?
It's not Varna.
It's not Varna.
It's a school.
Okay.
Right. Varnas are different. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, these are different. Chakravarni Maya system. This Sampradaya basically means a school like we have engineering, medicine. Under engineering we have civil engineering, mechanical engineering, metallurgy, data science and all AI based. All these are there, right? Similarly, under the bigger Vaishnava umbrella, there is Sri Sampradaya, Nivarka Sampradaya, there are multiple Sampradayas. And each Sampradaya has their prominent acharyas. In the Sri Sampradaya, Ramarjacharya is there. In the Gaudiya Sampradaya, we have Madhvacharya and we have Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Goswamis. So when you are initiated in particular Vaishnava Sampradaya, you follow the teachings of that Sampradaya. Chant the mantra prescribed by that Sampradaya. Any other question?
She wants to ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Today's lecture was very captivating. Really, holy names, we hear often a lot about holy names, but it seems like every time we hear a holy name, I personally feel like I have it first time, especially when you narrated the story of Dhruva Maharaj and the way that you explained how we can take this story and apply that as the barriers that we actually have towards holy name. I have a couple of questions, so let's see if somebody wants to ask questions. If you allow me, I have one question on Maya and one question on holy name. If you do allow me, ask me one question.
One at a time.
One at a time.
You can probably play podcast with me. If you have time for others.
One question. Okay. The question is, Prabhu, I have to think of which question should I ask.
Only do one.
Okay, Prabhu, the question about this satsang itself. So, if talking about the God is supposed to be like healing medicine that we should, as you said, that is prescribed. So we should hear Shravanam all the times, and that brings joy to our ears and heart sometimes. So why does it feel so boring and repetitive and tiring to a conditioned soul like me, for example? And what exactly happens deep inside to our consciousness that flips a switch and changes that feeling like boring and amazing, and we hanker more? So what is that trigger that actually happens when I feel like I want to hear more, rather than normally when I hear it I feel like it's so boring, it's the same Dhruv story, so the same Prahlad story. So what is that I'm supposed to do to encourage myself to hear more?
We lack that relish factor when we are hearing Krishna Katha, chanting Krishna's names because of our anarthas, because of our hankering to enjoy in a material plane. Nivritta tarshay upagiyamana bhavaushadhan stotramanobhiramat kauttavashloka gunarvadat puman virajyeta vinapasudhana. Nivritta tarshay. When our material hankerings are gone, when we are no more, when we are no longer hankering for any material enjoyment, sense enjoyment, material pleasures in this world, then the holy name of Krishna Katha, appears very sweet like nectar. As long as we have any interest in enjoying the material excitements, name of Krishna or form of Krishna or Leela of Krishna will not appear sufficiently appealing to us. That's because of our interest in this material world. And how to kill that interest in this material world? Continue to chant, continue to hear. The more we hear, the more we get attracted to these names and we lose interest in this material world. It's like Prabhupada gives an example of jaundice patient. When somebody has jaundice, they cannot taste sugarcane juice. It appears bitter. Sugarcane juice is supposed to be very sweet, nectarian, but it appears bitter because you have jaundice. What's the solution? Not to stop taking sugarcane juice. Keep on taking. One day it will appear very tasty, very sweet. So the medicine for lack of interest in hearing Krishna Katha is to hear Krishna Katha again and again. The medicine, the disease of lack of taste in chanting Krishna's names is continue to chant. Radhagan Maharaj says, somebody told Maharaj that माला करने में रुचि नहीं आ रही, नहीं करेगा तो आएगा क्या? I'm not getting interest in chanting names. If you don't chant, will you get interest? No. You will get interest. So Hindi is not very good. Some people get affected by this. So continue to chant whether you have interest or not. You know what happens? Even without sufficient interest or absorption or involvement, if you continue to chant, you will invoke Krishna's blessings. Generally in this world, when you are not excited to do something, you will stop doing it. You will stop doing it. But although you are not getting absorbed, although you are not very happy chanting the names of the Lord, if you continue to chant, Krishna will notice. Oh, even though this Vaishnava is not very happy chanting, just to make me happy he is chanting. Just to honor my instruction he is chanting. Just to honor the word that he has given to his Guru he is chanting. Means he is valuing me and Guru more than his own interests. Let me give him some taste. Krishna will think that, let me give him some taste. So by continuing to chant with determination despite having no taste for it, we will invoke Krishna's grace, Krishna's mercy. And he will help us.
Thank you, Hari Om. Hare Krishna.
You have a question?
She has question.
So I'm kind of like a beginner devotee and we started. I want to understand why Lord Krishna's name is more powerful than Lord Krishna.
More accessible.
Yeah, more accessible. Sorry.
Can you say Krishna now? Say
Krishna?
accessible. Can you see Krishna now? Can you shake hands with Krishna? Can you participate in the pastimes of Krishna now? So Nam is most accessible. Krishna's Rupa, Guna, Leela are less accessible in our conditioned state. Because we have material eyes, we cannot see the spiritual form of Krishna. because we are not spiritually evolved sufficiently. We don't have sufficient opportunity to see Krishna or interact with Krishna. But his name, which is as powerful as him, is most accessible. When we are very sick, can you worship the deities? Can you make garlands for the deities? Can you cook for the deities? Can you do abhishek of the deities? You can't do all that. But while being sick, lying on the bed, you can say Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Right? So Krishna's name is most accessible and most merciful. Anybody, in any circumstance, can chant the names of Krishna. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama. Eva kevalam, kalam nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. Only Hare. Scriptures are saying it repeatedly because the name of Krishna is most accessible, most merciful, and Krishna is personally saying, I have invested all my powers in my name. But Nama is most accessible. In the middle of the night, for some reason, for some headache or whatever, you couldn't sleep, you just got up from the sleep. Now you cannot enter the altar and then start chanting Hare, you start worshipping the deities. But you can pick up your Bible and chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. You can chant in the middle of the night, you can chant in the middle of the day, you can chant while sitting or walking or standing or singing or dancing, or you can access the holy name of Krishna at any time, 24/7. And kids can chant, adults can chant, Indians can chant, Americans can chant. So it's more accessible, more available. Make sense?
Thank you.
Is there one more question?
Hi, I'm also considering myself very much a beginner in Christian consciousness. But going back to you saying all it would take is just chanting Hare Krishna, what about people who are born not able to speak? What about those who have a stroke, for example? They can chant and what do you say to that?
If they are unable to speak, they can chant within the mind. Namasmarana. They can't do Namocharana, they can do Namasmarana. They cannot utter the names of the Lord, then they can remember the names of the Lord. But for some reason, if they can't even remember the names of the Lord, say mental problems are there, if somebody is not mentally also very stable, then you chant for them. Their ears will hear. Somehow or the other, when the name of Krishna enters their ear holes, that will slowly transform their consciousness. They may not know the efficacy of the holy name. They may not understand the power of the holy name. They may not know the glories of the holy name. But this medicine of holy name will work. Say, if you become sick, you go to a doctor, doctor will give a medicine. The patient oftentimes may not know what's there in the medicine. How does it cure? But by sincerely accepting the medicine given by the doctor, the patient will be cured. Similarly, somebody may not know the glories of holy name, they may not be participating in this big discussion about the process of chanting, but at least when they hear the holy name chanted by others, they will be free. That's why when we are chanting in the streets, the trees are getting benefited, ants are getting benefited, the animals are getting benefited, plants are getting benefited. That's the power of the name of the Lord. But if we are sufficiently evolved in our consciousness and sufficiently purified in our consciousness, we desire millions of tongues to chant. We desire millions of ears to hear. Tunde tandavi niratim vitanute tundavalilam bhaje karna kroda kadambini ghatajate karnarbhute bhyaspraham cheta prangana sangini vijayate sarvendriyanam kritim no jane janita kiyadhiramurtai krishneti varnadvayi. Radharani says, Rupa Goswami says, Tunde tandavini vitam ratim vitanute tundavali labdhe.
The holy name of Krishna is dancing on my tongue. I desire millions of tongues. One tongue is not sufficient to relish the taste of Krishna's name. When the holy name of Krishna is entering my ear holes, I desire millions of ears. Because the name Krishna, Krishna, you know how much nectar is embedded within these two syllables, Krishna, Krishna. You know Kaliya? Krishna subdued Kaliya, you know Kaliya snake? There's a poisonous snake called Kaliya, you know, it entered Vrindavan and poisoned a lake in Vrindavan. And Krishna, when he was hardly 6 years old, Krishna jumped into the Kaliya lake, he danced on the hoods of Kaliya, he subdued Kaliya completely and chased him away. Kaliya is a multi-hooded snake. So Kaliya's hoods are very soft. The snake's hoods are very soft, very slippery, wet. Similarly, our tongue also is very soft, very slippery, wet, and poisonous also. But when Krishna danced on the hoods of Kaliya, all the poison came out of Kaliya's mouth, and Kaliya became completely purified of his envy and anger and ego. Similarly, when we allow Krishna's name to dance on our Kaliya like tongues, we will be purified. That's the power of holy name. That's how holy name of Krishna can purify our consciousness.
Prabhu, it's very nice class. Thank you very much. So when Dhruva Maharaj was approached by Vaishnavas and then Swami, then went to Kubera, so he had at least oral reception, at least he wanted to listen, he wanted to hear. But sometimes in Sharaka's case, some, as you said, so-called after advancement, 10 years, 15, 20 years, we don't have friends. So nobody cannot correct us. Nobody cannot, we are not willing to listen. That's really pathetic situation. Even Prabhupada says, he has often sometimes he quote Chanakya Pandit. Chanakya Pandit says, don't live in a village where there is no running water, or at least we have one friend who can correct you. So this path is very difficult as progress. So how do we overcome? At least we have somebody surrender and listen. Take this nonsense. What are you doing is wrong. So no, then we do justification. So how do we overcome the tendency?
Lessons are not always taught, they are caught. Understood? When we have a sincere desire to learn, to improve, we seek guidance from others. We give some liberty to others to correct us. If nobody is correcting you voluntarily, you go and beg people for correction. Means, can you please be my friend, my accountability partner, my mentor, or at least a well-wishing friend who can remind me of some mistakes that I commit so that I can improve myself. So sometimes our seniority may become an obstacle. As you said, we are already 10 years, 15 years, 20 years in the movement and people may not correct us. And sometimes even if they correct also might be justified. We may not be able to accept that correction. But if there is a sincere desire for our own spiritual growth, we become grateful for the corrections and not defend ourselves. We try to rectify our mistakes and not justify our mistakes. Instead of feeling offended or getting to defense when others are correcting us, we feel very grateful. I'm very thankful to you for giving me this correction. In fact, sincere devotees, they voluntarily go and say, have you observed anything in me which I can improve, which I can change? Even now also, I genuinely seek corrections from devotees. May not be everyone, but at least whom I feel are a little close to me, who know me at least to some degree, I ask, is there any mistake? Either in my service
or in my behavior. If you have anything, any suggestion for me, for my improvement, please tell me. I'm grateful to this. Recently, one of my friends told, oh, you have done that, you should not, I think you should not have done it. I understand your intention is good, you don't have any bad intention, but still you could have done it in a different way. But this is act of thinking, small thing, but that small finer means like of changing behavior or changing response to situations or dealing with other devotees, that will improve us as persons, as individuals. So, when there is a sincere desire to improve ourselves, sincere desire for self-growth, we go around and ask some mature, well-wishing Vaishnavas for some guidance, for some mentorship, or for some perspective. I did not think in this perspective. We have another perspective of looking at the same thing. Right? However experienced you may be, we always miss something. We need a fresh pair of eyes to look at things. So once I was designing, I'm like, I have at least 20 years of design experience. All the books, Subodhini, nobody design. I am design. All Bhagavatam, there are 7 volumes. I have learned InDesign software and I design. So at least hundreds of PPTs I have made, hundreds of Photoshop designs I have made, many books, at least some 20, 30, 40 books I have designed personally. But one day, when I was working on Bhagavatam Tales design, one spread, I wanted to position the image illustration at one place and text around it so that text doesn't overpower the illustration doesn't overpower the text. I was just trying to see what is the best way of fitting this text and fitting this image together in that spread. And it's not like simply 2 columns, like the image is a image has certain detail in one corner, some empty space in another corner. I have to fit the whole thing in a spread, in a visually appealing way, yet enhancing the text and image. I was working on it for 3-4 hours, from morning to afternoon. One of my ashram friends, his name is Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, he is a brahmachari, very simple, innocent, simple-hearted brahmachari. He came in. I was designing, busy. I was not giving sufficient attention to him also. But he said, oh, come on, better. I just told him to sit and let me finish this. I was just working on it. He effortlessly said, oh, you can put the image here and text here, na? That will be very nice. I tried it, within 1 minute it worked. I was sitting with it for 4-5 hours and I have 20 years of design experience, but I did not get that thought. And he is not a designer, he is not a writer, he is not very experienced in aesthetic sense also, but randomly, effortlessly, he just spoke something which is the best idea which did not appear in my mind for the last 4-5 hours or in the last 20 years. Sometimes it's not about experience or expertise, it's just about a fresh pair of eyes to look at things. Now I asked him, Prabhu, I have been working since morning on this thing, I never got this thought, you could get it. You know what he said? Simply he said, because you have been looking at it continuously for a long time, your mind is a bit frozen, you are unable to think beyond this boundary. But I just came, I don't have any background, so I thought in a different angle. Sometimes when we are doing something repeatedly for a long time, we are restricted by our own experience, our own expertise. We somehow draw a boundary around ourselves and we start thinking or using all our innovation and creativity within that boundaries only. We cannot go beyond. If some new person comes and he says, oh, this is another way of doing it, then that idea could be 10 times better than our idea. Therefore, we should always be open to receive good ideas. Not any random ideas, but just like a hen, chicken, goes in the garbage also and just removes the dirt and picks up grains. Similarly, a Vaishnava also should be like an essence seeker. He should be seeking perspectives and ideas and guidance and lessons even if they come from like younger ones or inexperienced ones, or those who lack expertise also. Because we may not be able to look at the situation from an angle that they look. So we should always be open for guidance. And we seeking guidance, Krishna will arrange guidance for us. But when we close our minds, we don't want everybody to know what I mean. It's not a experience. I don't need any consultancy. Sometimes, of course, it should be like that. You can't always constantly seek validation. Every time seeking feedback and guidance is not necessary. But sometimes it's good, depending on time, place, circumstance. Does it make sense? You're sufficiently experienced, but because you ask me, I will do this for the service. Shall we conclude here? What's the time now?
Friday night.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for this wonderful class. I was remembering Amarendra Prabhu's classes. The same place Prabhu gave jewels of Ramayana. So we really released it. Now we got the jewels of Devotees Association and the holy name from you as well. And so this is really a wonderful topics to cover in this year's trip. And the way you connected, like when you how Swayambhu Manu came and reminded Prabhu about what he's doing about it, and you came into this community and told about how to take the association from devotees as well. When we go in the association of devotees, what we need to do, and how each and every devotee share with each other. That's what you reminded, Prabhu. Thank you so much for coming here. We would like to come every year to Columbus, considered as Columbus community. So we are building a new temple as well. So we need your association more and more. And we're looking forward for next year.